Hi, it's Trisha here, and this is part two of me talking about my stories of seeing apparitions. And I was in the middle of telling my story, or the beginning of telling a story of an experience that I had with seeing an apparition in 2004 in San Jose or Campbell, California. I can't remember the name of the town. I was in a house in the room I was in, and I woke up in the middle of the night, just out of nowhere, and I looked to my left, which was more of like the center of my room, and there was a guy standing there. And I don't mean like I was scared, like, oh crap, there's like an intruder in the house and there's a dude watching me in the room. No, it was like I knew that he was not from this realm. He looked completely solid, though, like, meaning that sounded funny. Sorry, don't take it that way. Okay, didn't mean it like that. I'm just meaning like completely like a solid human being standing there. He was an attractive guy. This was so this was 2004. I was 35, and this was it was the end of August 2004, and it was on a Tuesday night. And I know that because this is going to sound a little weird, but a week later exactly, I found, no, actually, okay, so I guess it would be a week and how many days later, I found out that on a Saturday, I found out that my ex-boyfriend committed suicide. And it was a challenging time, and it was not fun and all that. But I realized that, so I found out on a Saturday that he died days before on the Tuesday. And so a week before that, on a Tuesday night, is when this male spirit, or I think it's possibly was a spirit guide, or I don't know who it was, but he was standing there next to my bed, and he was looking at me like as if it was really important for him to come to me. And he was wearing nice shorts and a button-up shirt. It kind of reminded me like as if somebody was going to sort of a nice outdoor party, like a pool party or barbecue or something like that, or whatever, nice casual clothes. And he was like brownish blonde hair, nice shortish, not super short, but not long hair. He was an attractive guy, and I was staring at him like, oh my gosh, like who are you? And I just was sort of like startled, like wow, who are you? And I just couldn't even think about, like, I just was staring like, wow. And so we just stared at each other for, I don't know how long it was. I don't know if it was like a minute or 30 seconds or how long it was, but in the moment, I just couldn't stop staring. I was amazing. It was not scary whatsoever. It was fascinating. It was actually like he had a pleasant feeling about him, very peaceful. And then after a little while, he just turned away, like going towards his right, and literally started walking through my entertainment center, like this desk thing that I had, through that, and then through the wall. And he started disappearing as he was going through the wall and then was gone. And I was like, what? What is that? What? So, okay, so I'm also going to say, too, just mention that I was on a show. So that was in 2004. And over my life, I've had many experiences with spirits and stuff like that. So I found out my dad told me about this show that was going to be on, and I was thinking it was going to be stupid, but I decided, you know what, I'm going to see if I can get on the show is to talk about my experiences. I got on the show. I'm on an episode of a silly reality show called Stalked by a Ghost. And this was in 2013. I got on the episode, season 1, episode 3. So if you feel like checking that out, you can see me on there talking about my experiences. And really all they did was edit a bunch of experiences together and then sort of dramatized it. And then I have an actress playing me and me telling my stories. So it ends up seeming more scary. But the stories happened, but they were kind of mixed together and all that stuff. But anyways, so that's that. And I still, to this day, am so wondering who that was. Like, I really would love to see him again, and like actually somehow, if I could, now that I've, farther along in my, learning about all this, that I wish I could, I would love to ask him questions like, who are you, and why'd you do that, and do you have anything to do with the ex-boyfriend dying? Like, was he also his spirit guide, or was there some, I don't know what that was. I don't know. Anyways, so that was that. And so I want to go back to, like, in my other video, I mentioned about living in the Santa Cruz Mountains / Los Gatos Mountains off of old Santa Cruz Highway. It was on 74 acres in amazing scenery, like being at a state park in the redwoods, and there was ferns, and there was some springs on the property and a creek, and so all the wildlife, the deer, you'd hear the different owls, and the frogs and the crickets and the rabbits and all that. It was really nice. And so I lived in a little cabin house, and I talk about that in part 1 of my Seeing Apparitions video. But I also wanted to mention that, so I was talking about seeing this man, or not a man, a woman and a little boy. So I talked about that. And then I got cut off on the video. So I wanted to mention that this experience that I had, where I was sleeping, and in the middle of the night, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was laying on my back, and my head was just sort of off to the side, and when I opened my eyes, I was like looking down at my sheet, that's where my eyes were, and then something but I felt like looking to my right, which is where my center of my room was at that time, and there's an old lady standing there, like full on solid form lady standing next to my bed. And she was from a different time frame. She was a newer spirit. I'm going to guess somewhere between the 60s and the 80s, like, because of the clothes she was wearing. They were like some polyester pants and like a button-down shirt that had some unique, like, sort of design on it, like a polyester shirt. And then she had like curly white hair, and she had glasses on. And she was looking at me in the same way that the boy was looking at me, sort of like, sorry for that face, but like what? I don't know what it was. Like, who are you? What are you? Why are you here? Or I don't know. It startled me. It really startled me. I thought she was mad at me for something. I don't know what that was, or what she was about, or whatever. But like, it was out of nowhere. And so I turned away really fast, like, whoa, like trying to process that. And then I turned back, and I didn't see her anymore. So I don't know if she just sort of like went invisible and she was still standing there staring at me, or if she just was gone. I don't know. But that happened. And that's another one where, the looking at me like that, was it in annoyance, or was it in like what was she seeing? Like, that's the thing that's fascinating to me. Like, what are the spirits seeing? Now, was she an earthbound spirit, or was she a spirit that had crossed over and then decided to come back, and for some reason, I don't know. So whatever. I don't know. That's also one of those ones where, like, man, I'd love to be able to go back there and find them again and like talk to them some more. Like, what were you doing? Whatever. But in that same room, like, sometimes it would feel like that there was a lot of people standing around in that room. And I found out later that near where my house was a Wells Fargo stop. So I'm wondering if that's why the lady and the boy were also standing there, is because maybe they were waiting for the stagecoach. I don't know. But yeah, gosh, it sometimes felt like almost like a bus station, like meaning like there's lots of people standing around. It wasn't scary or anything. I just felt like lots of presences is there in the room. Also, before I saw this old lady, and it was like I don't remember if it was like the night before or what, but I woke up because something was really tickling my cheek, like as if somebody. I don't know if it was, at first I thought maybe there was like a hair or a feather, because I have a parrot, but it was so tickly that I reached up with my right hand and half asleep, and I scratched myself so hard. It itched so bad. I scratched myself so hard that I dug into my skin, like it literally peeled back my skin. Like I was like, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? Like I have never done anything like that in my entire life. So that happened. Then I saw her, and she was creepy a little bit. Not like creepy, but just startling me. Like, why are you looking at me like that? Ah! And so that, and so those are these just off the top of my head right now that I'm thinking about. Like, I just wanted to share, like, some of my experiences that I've had. Now, I've had other experiences where I've seen spirits or not apparitions, spirits or ghosts that were more, I feel like, through my psychic eyes, my inner eyes. And I can talk about that at a different time. And because I've had, other things I can share about seeing, feeling the presence of a spirit walking into the room where it's super obvious to me. Like you can know, like if you're in the room, you're in a house or something, and you can feel when somebody, a person, a real life person, walks near you or walks behind you. It makes you kind of want to turn and look, or, you look over and you can tell somebody's looking over at you. You just have a feeling about it. And so, but what I can feel is like literally like the person walking into a room and without even seeing them at all, like invisible person. I can tell their size, their height, their shape. And this sort of thing. And then I've also, like I said, I've seen like forms, like I could see like the outline of a person, meaning like they're just sort of like a silhouette looking, like just a shape, not any features and things like that. So I'll talk about that on a different video. Thanks for listening. I'd love to hear what you have to say. What do you think? Like, do you have any experiences you'd like to share? Love this kind of subject. I could totally talk about it all day. So have a great day, you guys, and look for my other videos, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.